What is going on, Neon Nation, and welcome back to the Neon Arcade. I hope everyone out there is enjoying a little bit of time off, spending it with friends and family in whatever capacity you can, with this crazy year almost at its end. Now with that being said, we have a ton of Cyberpunk 2077 news and updates for you guys today, including a highly requested song from 2018 being released by CD Projekt Red, CDPR's total sales and numbers thus far into release, as well as some major lashback in the form of lawsuits from investors in the company alleging deceptive and misleading marketing. We also have the latest hotfix situation and what that means for gamers, playing Cyberpunk 2077 with as few bugs, glitches, and hiccups as possible, an article getting a ton of flack online from fans and CDPR developers alike, as well as the latest and the greatest from the world of CDPR and Cyberpunk. First up, we have a couple light topics, including the very anticipated release of the 2018 version of Chippin' In. This is being released on Spotify for fans that have taken a keen liking to it way back in the day from when the 48-minute demo was released and we first heard this song. The 2018 version was since changed in 2019 when CDPR mentioned that version had been scrapped, to the dismay of many fans who preferred that version over the newer one, which the studio felt portrayed Chrome Rock more accurately. This new version is actually by Carrie Urdine, again a fan favorite character from the game. Speaking of Carrie Urdine, there's a moment in the game where he plays an unknown but catchy riff on the guitar, which fans have shown some interest to which the composers coyly deflect, mentioning that, quote, "As far as I know, Carrie was just jamming. He didn't finish the song, he just found this riff and was exploring what he could do with it. Maybe when it's done." Now I'm hoping that gets released in the near future because it's one of my favorites in the game, which is saying a lot because the soundtrack of Cyberpunk 2077 is overall excellent. Moving on, photo mode has been a great success when it comes to Cyberpunk 2077, with many players showcasing the beauty of Night City and their characters all over the web. And for you experts out there, you now have your calling with the Shutterpunk contest hosted by CD Projekt Red, featuring a variety of Cyberpunk goodies up for grabs. In a statement, CDPR mentions, quote, "There's so much to do in Night City, car races, boxing tournaments, shooting ranges, contracts from various gangs. But before all that, let's take a selfie. We're presenting the official Cyberpunk 2077 photo mode contest, Shutterpunk 2077. All you have to do to participate is to take a screenshot using the in-game photo mode and post it on Twitter with the hashtag Shutterpunk 2077. You can submit one screenshot for each of the categories. For portrait categories, you have to focus on V or any other character from the game. Action is all about showing off dynamic moments of the game such as fights, jumps, car chases, etc. Sites are taking in the best views from the game and the architecture of Night City. You have to indicate in the tweet which category your screenshot represents. And to be eligible, no frames or stickers and no screenshot editing, even in Microsoft Paint. Submissions will end on 11:59 CET on Sunday, January 10th, 2021. You can submit one of each, and I honestly can't wait to see who comes out on top. I've already seen some pretty amazing shots so far, so again, good luck to all the participants. Moving on, we have some sales numbers being reported from CD Projekt Red to the tune of 13 million copies after the game had more than 8 million pre-orders. This is in the period of just under 2 weeks, and does include the refunds received from customers unhappy about the game's performance on the consoles. CDPR had an extremely rough launch, and the game was inevitably pulled altogether from the PlayStation Store and has since forced brick-and-mortar stores and Microsoft to implement less strict return policies for this game, including issuing refunds even if a physical case has been bought and the game has been opened. The sales number is for the 10-day block of time from launch day to December 10th, and is about half of the 12-month sales projections from analysts pre-launch. Honestly, it's pretty crazy how much raw sales CDPR has done, even with what many are calling a catastrophic launch. Now for reference, Witcher 3 has sold 28 million copies on all platforms, and you only need 19 million copies sold to get into the top 50 most sold games of all time. And this leads me into my second topic, which is the fact that a lawsuit has actually been filed against CD Projekt due to their stock free-falling almost 30%. This is large in part due to the allegations that CD Projekt misled investors and consumers about the state of the game, mainly on consoles. The plaintiff in this case is Andrew Tramp, being represented by the Rosen law firm, with the defendants being the CD Projekt Red management members who are typically on those investors' calls, which we've brought up time and time again in the past. This is a class action on behalf of the persons or entities who purchased or otherwise acquired publicly traded CD Projekt securities between January 16, 2020 and December 17. The plaintiff seeks to recover compensable damages caused by the defendant's violation of the federal securities laws under the Securities Exchange Act of 1934. In the documentation, an exhaustive list of allegations of false and misleading statements are cited, as well as the state of the game on launch. So we'll have to see if this goes through, but it seems like we could see CD Projekt in a legal battle in the foreseeable future. I'm obviously no legal expert, but I know Hogue Law of Virtual Legality will be on this piece of news, and his videos are always insightful, so go check him out for the developments on this and some legal insight if that's what interests you. Now, CDPR is committed to fixing the state Cyberpunk 2077 is in on all platforms, launching a flurry of hotfixes, with the most recent being 1.06, which aims to patch a critical error, which means that your save files would be wiped if you exhausted the 8MB limit. 1.04 aimed to fix the epilepsy triggers with brain dance segments, and 1.05 fixed a bunch of bugs, and now 1.06 is fixing this massive glitch, which had players losing their entire files. Now apparently crafting too much frequently triggered this, and it's good to know CDPR is slinging out these hotfixes fairly quickly. And personally, I have noticed some slight differences running on a high-end PC. There's still a ways to go, but these are coming out fast and furious, and there will be big updates in January and February. Now what is not actually a bug that was first brought up on the CDPR forums was the removal of nudity in the game itself, with user World Company mentioning that, quote, "I can still see boxers on my character in first-person view even when naked." This goes for male and female, and that it also shows up in mirrors, photo mode, and in the shower. The CDPR community manager responded to this mentioning that, quote, "Lack of nudity outside of the inventory is not a bug and works as intended. If you undress V, they will always have underwear in FPP and photo mode, and any other cases outside the inventory menu." Obviously, this got gamers in a huff, and articles and statements on CDPR's commitment to making an adult game and full frontal nudity were brought up in response. I'm honestly not sure if I ever tried this in-game because I don't really care, but for those of you who want this as a feature, I guess the inevitable mod will have you covered. Finally, we have an article that has caused a lot of stir in the community as of late. I'm not going to mention their name here because this is exactly what they would have wanted for exposure, but this article was captioned, quote, "Cyberpunk 2077's multiple failures sum up everything wrong with the video game industry. It's Game of the Year in the same way Hitler was Times Man of the Year." And no, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to guess this is an attempt at outrage clicks, and a user even chimed in mentioning this was actually recaptioned because it got poor engagement. I guess pulling the Hitler reference is the move of the month in journalism, which is definitely not a slick look for this publication, but hey, we live in an era of fake news, outrage clicks, and made up drama, so there you guys have it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic New Year's. I will see you in 2021 for more Cyberpunk content.